Welcome to the Be Empowered interview series with your host, Rashida Kamaria Williams.
Hello, everyone. It's Rashida Kamaria Williams, Chief Empowering Officer for Empowered Flower Girl. And I am super excited because this is the first episode of the new year for our Be Empowered interview series. Yay! I'm super delighted because January is one of my favorite months. Not just because it's the beginning of a new year, but also you all know that I am a huge proponent of mentoring. I'm a mentoring advocate, and I love all things mentoring and empowering 21st century tweens and teens. So, January is National Mentoring Month, and I'm just over the top, uh, head over heels, in love with the work of mentors and the difference that they're making in the lives of our young people. And today, my guest, oh, she is out there in the community making a powerful impact, helping young people in her community who need it most. And I am super delighted to welcome Miss Shamek'o Barren. She is the CEO of New Minds Mentoring Program. Welcome, Shamika. Or
Thank
Shamiko.
you. Thank you so much for that invitation. I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And we connected via Instagram. And one, I love the name of your organization and program, New Minds, and you also have some really cool initiatives that we're going to talk about in just a moment. But can you tell us more about what inspired you to start your mentoring program and kind of your background, if you had a mentor or you've been a mentor in the past?
Yeah, it's a great question. Mentoring, I started thinking about that maybe in 2005, 2006. And it was like me and my sister, we talked about, we were members of the Boys and Girls Club. And, I started to think it would be so cool to create something like the Boys and Girls Club, and I was like, I probably couldn't do that magnitude, but the focus was I really enjoyed the Boys and Girls Club, sports, arts and crafts, things like that. But one of the things I felt like was missing at the time at my age was like personal development. Even though I was a member of the Kiwanis Club, I still suffer from like social
Oh,
anxiety,
shout out to
you
Kiwanis.
stress.
Love
Yes, in
Kiwanis.
Crichton, Alabama. But and I was thinking, what if I can create something that can take care of the child from the inside out? You know what I mean? Because my thing was, what about, sports? What if sports don't work out? What am I left with? So New Minds was birthed as doing a wholesome, I guess, or a holistic, of the individual and just operating from the inside out. So that's what inspired me. I did not know what it was going to look like, but
Mhm.
that was the birthing of New Minds Mentorship Program.
Okay, great. Now, you mentioned something that I think is really powerful because statistics have shown that young people who are mentored, who have mentors or positive role models in their lives, they also go on to become mentors and give back in some meaningful way. So I love that you were able to take the experience that you had with the other organizations that you were involved with. Someone poured into you and now you're
Yes.
pouring into young people. So if you could tell us a little bit more about some of the initiatives you had. I know there was one program that I saw that looked pretty fascinating. It's called the BAD or the BAD initiative.
Okay.
So yeah, would love to learn more about that and what you're doing there.
Okay, yes, the Bad Girl Initiative, it actually was something I was sitting on for about 2 years. And BAD stands for Business and Dreams. I like to come up with these
Hey.
acronyms. So this was the first year, I started. It was a Bad Girls Lunch and Learn. And the whole purpose behind, Bad Girls Lunch and Learn, just as a career, been working in leadership for about 20 years.
Okay.
Of course, I've an entrepreneur, along with that as well. And Bad Girls, I basically just want to explore options with the young ladies because just over the years of mentoring, you can become an entrepreneur as a youth. I mean, I have young ladies that
Absolutely.
I've mentored that have their own lip line. And I was just so appalled when I had one of my former mentees, she was like a 12-year-old and she had her own nail business. I'm talking about a shop. So I was like, I got to push
Oh,
this.
wait a minute. You said a shop?
Yes.
What? A brick and
Yeah.
mortar, or was it a
No,
mall?
it's within her mom created her a shop attached to.
I love that.
Yes. Yes. So she was one of my former mentees, and I was like, I got to get this thing out because the purpose of this is not for young ladies just to hear, from me, I wanted them to hear from young ladies that are their age that have their own business and that it was possible. And in addition to just business, because of course we know everybody is not born to be an entrepreneur.
It's true.
Also, dreams. What are some of your other dreams? What is your major? What are you thinking about? Have you researched those schools that, do those things that you wanted to do? So the purpose was to teach the girls that they have options. You
Option.
can become an entrepreneur, how to get those goals, how to get those goals going, how to take initiative. And I think as well, this program actually partnered young ladies that had different visions and goals, partner them with mentors that do this. I mean, I actually had a mentee that said she's interested in being a doula, and I actually have a young
I love
lady,
that.
yes,
Okay.
she wanted to be a doula, and she's like, I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I mean, I want to go to college, but I want to be a doula. So,
I love that. And
yes.
I'm seeing a trend with more women, especially Black women and other women of color,
Hmm.
wanting to do that and serve each other in that way. And I think is very important. So, uh, kudos to you all for pairing
Yeah.
young people and introducing them into different careers and helping them to realize that yes, you can have a full-time job, but you also you can be pursuing your passion at the same time, or if you want to do it full time. So
Yes.
that's really cool.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah, I work with a nonprofit that also works with young entrepreneurs. We do entrepreneur camp as
Okay.
well as a girl expo every year, and it is definitely important to be able to pour into our young people and give them the resources that they need. So, with this program, have you noticed that the the girls, do they seem like um, they want to start their businesses now, or there is something that they're looking to in the future? It sounds like you're giving them a lot of support for even starting up currently as teens.
Yeah, something I've been doing with some of the bad girls. I've been doing spotlights on them, on my New Minds page, been doing spotlights. And then as far as some of them, they text me and they're like, Miss Shamek'o, remember I said I want to do this. Can you partner me? So, hey, I'm
Okay.
connecting them. So, some of them, because some of my girls, I deal with the ages of 10 to 16. Some of my
Okay.
girls, they're like eighth graders, nine, and maybe ninth graders and stuff. So some of them are interested in, they want to know now because I told them in Bad Girls, we start early. We don't wait. You can start thinking, you can get those wheels turning right now. So actually they're been seeking information just right now, and reaching out.
Yeah, I love that they're taking the initiative. Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
that's an important skill to have, to be able to be assertive and to ask for what you need and the things that you want. And working with girls of that age, sometimes their confidence can take a hit, right? We know that social media often has those sorts of impacts on young people. In your work that you've seen with the girls, um, what are some of the top challenges that girls in your community are facing, but also um, what are the opportunities that you feel are out there for them?
A lot of you hit the nail right on the head. That's kind of why how I started. I kicked off, working on confidence. I've even had a confidence incubator, and I had a one-on-one confidence
I
camp.
like that, a confidence incubator. I love it.
Yeah. So I did a confidence camp, but one of the things, young ladies struggle with, and I think we know this as adults, no matter how you look or feel, sometimes you still, lack confidence. And one of the things I like to teach the young ladies, confidence is just not by how you look, but I like to teach them this because I let them know confidence will follow you everywhere. Like I told them, you
Yeah,
don't just need it here. I said when you go apply for that job, you're gonna need confidence. When you want to join that organization, maybe in college or that sorority, you need to have confidence. I say you got to feel like you own the room. And I let them know it's not by arrogance, it's about I'm confident
that's right.
in who I am. And, I also created an actual journal, for young ladies. It's called Teens, Tweens, and Self-Esteem Journal. So
Oh,
that's just
okay.
something to
What
help, build them up.
is that something that is available?
It is something that's available. We have it on Amazon, but
Okay,
that's
I'll make
something.
sure that we include a link to that.
Okay, and yeah, and just other opportunities I see for the young lady, they have support. I can say there's multiple mentoring, organizations here in Alabama. We all kind of cater to a different purpose, but we all have the same end goal. So even though these
Right.
girls have these challenges with confidence, sometimes, mental health, I know I'm not a therapist. I love to disclaim that, but it is important that we teach young ladies how to deal with mental health. How, if I don't feel well, do I have someone, to speak with, and just even dealing with, boys. Sometimes I have girls who's like, they got a boyfriend. I was like, you got a boyfriend? Like, really? And I haven't talked to him. I'm dating. I'm like, how are you dating? You're in the ninth grade. What are you doing?
Yes, they're dating. I
Yes, they
remember
are.
I called myself going on a little date when I was in 8th grade. It was a movie date. The parents were there, but I was like, "Oh, I'm dating."
Yeah, that's kind of cool to find out. I was like, okay, because this affects their this
It
actually
does.
affects their self-esteem. I've had one-on-ones with some of my young ladies and some stuff like maybe grades or some. Well, why are your grades suffering? Well, I
Mm.
kind of broke up with my boyfriend, so that's all I can think about, and I'm not thinking about school.
Yeah,
So,
it happens. They're going through these life changes,
mhm,
from emotional, physical, hormonal changes, and they absolutely need that support. So I'm glad that there are resources for our girls, our young people, regardless of background as well, but especially our girls and young women, because
mhm,
we know they tend to face challenges, unique challenges that maybe boys aren't facing, and there's some additional there's additional
mhm.
things that are happening, especially in the online space,
Yeah.
where we see it all the time. They're experiencing the what is it? They're experiencing cyberbullying, but also digital harassment, and there's so much that they're facing. So it's good to know that there are adults out there who care, and it is
Mhm,
great to hear that your community, Mobile, Alabama, right?
mhm.
Yeah, that in your community there are these type of resources that are available to the young people there. And speaking of which, just curious, is your program open right now to girls or even mentors?
It is always open to girls. I was going to be having probably an interest in me sometime since this is National Mentoring Month. The end of the month, recruiting some girls, and I do partner with some, mentors and things like that. Because you can be a mentor here, or you can be someone. We do virtual, things like that as well. So yes.
Okay, yeah, that's great to know because I find that video conferencing tools, even like Zoom or Google Meet, others make mentoring and make these sorts of programs more accessible to
Yes.
young people all over. So if you can't find a certain professional in your community, at least you could connect them
Yes.
with someone somewhere in the world. So I like that technology really helps us to connect.
Crossover. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, before we go, I want to make sure that I I touch on something because when you mentioned that you had a mentor, I'm just wondering, is there something that you remember about the individual or individuals that mentored you that has stuck with you, or something that they've said to you that has really inspired you that you continue to keep in your heart, or something that you go by in your
Um,
everyday life?
Well, I can't remember a specific thing. I just remember a specific person. And
Okay.
with this mentoring program, mom was a single mother, so she was working a lot. And one of the ladies that mentored, me, and my sister, she would come pick us up. She was like, "Don't worry about it." She was like, "I'm gonna make sure you all can attend these different things." So it was just something she made a mark on me because that wasn't her job. Her job, was to teach art or dance, but to have someone that so selflessly just would do that, and she just exposed my sister and I to different things at the Boys and Girls Club. And if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have been members because my mom was at work all day. But she made sure, and so I just kind of remember that, and I just like to pour into other people, be selfless, as well, that there are people that really care about you and they don't want anything from you. They just want to see you. And it's just because of that experience is why I am here, right now.
I love that. Yeah, mentors definitely make a difference.
Hmm.
That's what I tell people. Mentors make an impact. I mean,
Yes.
I know there's not one solution to
Hmm.
everything that's ailing our society, all the problems that we may have, but
Hmm.
mentoring is one solution. And I definitely always encourage people, if they have a big heart and a little time, to consider becoming
Yeah.
a mentor. So that's great to hear that you still remember that experience and you're able to pass that along to the young ladies in your program now. So, I'm just curious if you have had any particular experiences with your girls, any particular activities that you find really have been helping them, and in particular in areas where they may have been having those challenges. I know we talked about self-esteem earlier,
Hmm.
but I know when I was growing up I experienced bullying, right?
Yeah.
And my mentor made a difference for me. It was actually a teacher who helped me
Hmm.
through that time when I was being bullied. uh,
Hmm.
but are there particular um, programs that you all have in place or things that you do to maybe help young people who are going through that challenge? Because I've had a lot of people ask me about, what type of help is there for young people who have been bullied or who have experienced um, that
Yes.
sort of thing, whether it's cyberbullying or in-person bullying, digital harassment, those
Yeah.
sorts of things.
I've provided, different resources. I've also hosted and partnered with the actually city of Mobile. They actually have some called Bully Blocker,
Oh,
that I communicated, with the young ladies. It's basically something they can text and they can report,
okay.
the bullying themselves. Also, teaching them just certain things like what is the person saying that hurts your feelings? Because I mean, I was bullied when I was coming up, but sometimes I just tell them you gotta take the power from them. They may want to make fun of you or whatever. Like one of the things was I had big feet. I was very skinny coming up. That was something and that's just like when you take ownership, you take the power, like that doesn't hurt my feelings. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I let them know that, they have me they can talk to, tell someone, and also, you can speak up for yourself, as well.
Absolutely.
We're not talking about being violent and things, but sometimes people do things because they think you won't say anything. And
Yeah.
then just with the young ladies in general, I just provided them some resources and some tips about, he's talking about bad girls, but I was providing them with some tips on how to spot mean girls and what that
Mm,
looks like,
yeah.
and how to handle, those particular girls. So yeah, I've provided, different resources. And one thing about my Instagram and Facebook page, I'm always trying to pour into them, provide for them. And then sometimes I send out a questionnaire, whenever anybody wants to inquire about the mentorship program or just anything, I kind of have a list of what our specialty, because we
Okay.
specialize confidence, youth entrepreneurship, people that want to become an author, of course, self-esteem, that as well, in mental health, we don't do any therapy or anything, but we can guide them to places, or we can tell them what to do with those particular emotions and go see, those people who they need to see. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, thank you for telling us about those particular programs. And speaking of which, if someone is watching this and they are in your area, or maybe they want to partner with you,
Yeah.
how can they get in touch and learn more about your organization?
Well, New Minds Mentorship, we are on Instagram as New Minds, it's MINDZ 17, and we're on Facebook at New Minds Mentorship Program. You can reach out, have an email, Shamek'o Barren at newmindsmentoring.org. So yeah, you can follow me, DM me if you just see anything. I mean, we're always open to partnerships and just helping young ladies all over the world. It's not just a Mobile or Alabama thing. I've, did things in other cities virtually, and things like that. So yeah,
We
please
just
reach
love
out.
technology. We're able to
Hmm.
connect with people in our own cities and communities, but also around the world. So.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, and I'll be sure to have that information for anyone who's watching who wants to know more. We will definitely be connecting you to all of these incredible resources. But I'm just thrilled to have met you and
Thank
connected with
you.
you. Like I said, I've been checking you out on social media
Yeah.
and learning about all the awesome things you do. And
Yeah.
we're all in this together. We're part of the village. So
Yes,
it's always great to
big village.
meet people like yourself. And we want to make sure that we elevate the work that you do. So kudos to you and all that
Thank
you do to
you.
empower our
Thank
girls.
you so much. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
definitely great having you on the show. And for those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in to our Be Empowered interview series. If you or someone you know is a change maker, an awesome individual who is driven by purpose, make sure that you reach out to us and let us know about them. So take care and great to meet you, Shamika.
Bye. Have a great weekend. Thank
You too.
you.